Hey guys, welcome back to Heiko's Garage.
Yeah.
Today I want to continue on the theme of making electrical improvements on my BMW Airhead here behind me. So in my last video, you guys saw that I installed a 400 watt EnduraLast alternator and it's working fine. My generator light turns off at very low RPM. So usually you would have to rev it up a little bit with a stock alternator. Now it literally turns off as soon as I go above 1000 RPM. That's a good indication. It has solid output voltage, 14.2 volts, because I have a kind of an upgraded voltage regulator, also EnduraLast, which is adjustable. And since we now have a little bit more electrical output, I want to add a couple electrical accessories. Later on this year, I'm going to install some heated grips because of the fall season. I want to be able to ride in colder temperatures. So that's going to be one of those upgrades. One upgrade I came across is this one here. It's AdMoreLight. It's the AdMoreLight Bar Pro. And this is not a sponsorship or anything. The company does not know that I exist. I bought this with my own $219, I think. I've seen this on the back of my friend's bike. He has a brand new 2025 R1300, and he immediately added this. This is a light bar that is a brake light. It does turn signal indication, and it has an accelerometer in it. So even if you're just slowing down rapidly, you're getting off throttle, this will also turn on a brake light. I know there are other products out there. There are products that you can stick to the back of your helmet and they're battery powered and all that. This one here is very good quality. It's an aluminum housing. They have two options. They have a clear lens and a smogged, kind of like a dark looking one. I did the dark one because I don't want it to be too obvious. Because, you know, it's still a classic Airhead, and I don't want to make it too sci-fi, too high-tech looking. And this doesn't need any extra power supply. So this hooks right into the taillight / turn signal wiring here in the back. Of course, we have to figure this out. I haven't researched this topic yet at all. I have only taken this box open here once. So let's get back to the electrical output. In one of the videos in the past, I've shown how I measured the total power draw across the two fuses that are in the headlight bucket of an Airhead. So my bike here, a 1974 R90, only has two fuses. Each is an 8 amp fuse. And I measured the actual draw of all the bike circuits going over those two fuses. Two 8 amp circuits, they were underutilized. So with LED taillights, LED blinkers, LED headlight, there wasn't really all that much draw. I also use a electronic ignition. So I had plenty capacity left even with a 280 watt alternator. And so I think I'm pretty sure that I'm safe to add this here to my lighting circuit, which runs over one of those two fuses. It says maximum current draw is 800 milliamps, so not quite an amp at 13 volts. And I think that's only happening when you apply the brake. That's the brightest. This is DOT compliant. So this is actually a piece that the cops cannot say anything about. Pretty good webpage. They have pretty good instructions on how to wire it in, but it's a universal piece, so you kind of have to figure this out on your specific bike. And so yeah, it does braking. It does when you shift, so you're getting off the throttle to shift, you slow down, it will apply brakes. And this thing has Bluetooth connectivity. Not that you have to have your phone connected to it all the time, but with Bluetooth, you can program it. How sensitive you want the deceleration thing, what the pattern of turn signal is supposed to look like, what kind of blink pattern it's supposed to blink out, like SOS or CQD or whatever. Anyways, this is AdMoreLight Bar Pro. And now we're gonna open up the box here. Comes packed pretty well. It's sealed, so you know that you're not getting a opened package. There's some foam in here. And here is the unit itself with a long wiring harness. Like I said, this is all universal, so you will have to figure out the wiring yourself. Here, let's put this aside. So currently, there's still a film over top of it. I'm going to peel this off at the very end. a pretty long wiring harness, and you really only have to make it to some junction box under your seat, or here in this case, probably most likely in the taillight itself, where most of the wiring for the turn signals, brake light and tail light or rear light are happening. So I just need to get this in there. Then they give you a kind of a quick start guide. It talks about wiring, what each color does. That's pretty good. They do give you those posy tap wiring nuts. They kind of pinch or poke into a wire and connect to the conductor on the inside. I will try to avoid those. I don't like them. Of course, for a DIYer who doesn't have crimpers and lots of different terminals, this is probably a pretty good option. Yeah, so mounting options for the AdMoreLight Bar Pro. You get this aluminum bracket that's meant to bolt right under your license plate. And then the unit gets bolted into this bracket. You can either do at the top of your license plate or at the bottom. And if you put it at the bottom and maybe you have a tail that's not as supportive as the one here on my bike, there's actually a steel plate here behind mine. If you have a kind of a sportier looking tail and the plate is just the license plate itself, they give you those stiffener brackets here that you can put between the mounting bolts of your license plate to stiffen this up, and then it helps to hold this aluminum bracket in place. And obviously you're going to put this behind your license plate, right? And then you just bolt in your unit here, kind of like that. Above is kind of cramped here in my case. That would probably work, but it would be right where the license plate is. Bottom, I think that would probably be the better option. I was kind of thinking of putting it here at the end of my cargo rack, but I'm actually using this motorcycle for touring, and I put luggage on here, and I don't want to modify this necessarily. So I'm not 100% sure. There are already holes in here, so I think I could probably bolt this on, but then that's hanging out quite a ways. So yeah, that would be really far out there. So I think I'm just gonna put it at the bottom of my license plate for the time being. And that's fairly simple. Let's take this little thing off here. I'm gonna work and not talk to make the video a little bit more palatable in length. My license plate last year, a little bit crazy one. But I found one before the brakes. I'll get the brakes off. I'm opening up the tail light here just to see wiring on. There's also wiring installation right here. Pretty sure. Please don't do it. There you go. LED light bulb. That's probably not DOT approved. And then we have every wire that has to do with the turn signals and the tail light all coming in here. So now we just have to find a way to get the new wiring harness from this AdMoreLight fixture here into the back of this this light housing here, tail light housing. Shouldn't be too big of a problem. I mean, there is a grommet already here in the back, but I don't think I can force this through there. Let's see. Can we maybe take this off? So what I can do is the brown has a brown, I'm pretty sure, so we take that off. And then these two blue and red are the principal ones. They go down those two side terminals. That's pretty easy. And then the rest is tail light specific main harness. Let's see. That should come off here relatively easily. There we go. It's a little easy. I don't want to break the taillight housing here, but this plastic seems to have deformed a little bit under the tension of the nut, and now it doesn't want to come off the bolt here. Here we go. Now we got it. Here we go. Wow, oh, yeah. There's a stiffener from the inside of the fender here, and then 2 6mm bolts. All right, we got it. So the blinker turn signals, they have their own little stubby wiring sticking out of this crossover pipe here, this connector pipe, and we can pull this out of here quick, like so. Pretty easy. I might, while I'm in here, put a little bit more shrink tubing over this. And I don't know if I want to disconnect this here. So these are all just push connectors. You push on this spring-loaded metal piece and the wire comes out. Maybe I should take a picture, huh? So I remember which wire goes where. Makes life a little easier. But we will have to look up which one is what here anyways. Okay, that's good. And then I will have to figure out how we're going to splice that in without using those posy tap thingies. Luckily, we have enough space here in the back. There's definitely enough room. All right, let's just unhook it. Here, one, you just push against the spring-loaded tabs, and the wires come out. Easy. Now let's figure out how we're going to feed the wires, the extra wires, that extra wiring harness in here. Not sure. They also give you some hardware here. There's some black hardware that we're going to be using. I haven't quite figured out what those 2 holes are for. There are 2 holes in the back. They are threaded. So I wonder if you would have a surface mount kind of situation, you could probably make that happen. I might at some point change my mind and put it up here. But for the time being, we're just going to put it down here. I want to try it out and play around with it before I commit to modifying my bike. I mean, besides the wiring going into the taillight and maybe doing some wiring modification. So you can also change the angle a little bit and how far it is away from your license plate. We'll play around with that once we have it. Oh, that's a Torx. I might put a little drop of Loctite on these screws, but not right now, maybe later. Is this too small? Is this better? Oh yeah. So yeah, definitely make sure it doesn't fall off while you're riding. That would be a shame. Okay, so we have it mounted. Unfortunately, the wiring comes out at the bottom. Here is AdMoreLight written down here, and I installed it so it's right side up so you can read it. And now I'm going to try to find a routing. All right, and pretty much that's the situation here. I don't think I'm going to cut this wiring harness off. I think we can probably coil it up in the back of the taillight here. Because what if I want to mount it somewhere else and then suddenly the wiring is too short. So let's see what we can do here with this grommet. Are we going to be able to put both wiring harnesses through here? I'm just going to put some Pledge furniture polish on it. That will help it slide through. Apparently, it's working. Okay, a little bit more lubrication. I like Pledge furniture polish. It kind of is gentle in removing dust. Even has a little bit of some cleaning power. Doesn't affect plastics or rubber. All right, and now, is that all we're going to do? Maybe. So we still have to put the blinker harness back in here. And now I could already figure out a way to coil this back in here. Okay, I'm gonna grab my BMW manual real quick. I just thought of the little push connectors here. Who says that I can't put 2 wires into each? There's so much tension on it. I think we can put 2 little wires through here and they're gonna be pushed together, so we don't really need the posi tab at all. I don't think. And the wiring is equal kind of length here. That's pretty good. Now we just need to figure out what wire does what here. And I showed in a previous video my Haynes manual here. They are colored, so color coded. We're gonna go to my 1974 R90 and look at what the colors are doing. Yeah, let's put the rest back in there first. Of course, I always wear my nicest watches when I'm working down in the garage. And then in the middle of the project, I have to get them off, out of harm's way. All right. 1 bolt through. Then there was a rubber washer, a flat washer, and then a nylock nut over top of it. I'm gonna not tighten anything up quite yet, in case I make a mistake and we have to all yank it off again. So really, ultimately, I probably didn't have to take it all apart, but I guess to figure out if the wire would go in through that grommet was probably easiest. Hey, dropping stuff. So again, I'm putting the rubber washer and then a steel washer over top of it, kind of as a vibration damper. And I just realized I did that upside down over on the other side. First the rubber, and then the steel washer. And then the nylock nut. This is all stainless steel hardware. They're just a little grungy looking, but I'm not so worried about it. I'm gonna find us a socket and a really long extension. We have all the wiring in there. It's a little loose here on this side, but I might be able to find one of those P-clips and just put it right under the license plate bolt and nut and hold it right there. That would be pretty clean. Down here you can barely see it. And now I'm gonna slide this shrink tubing piece here back in place if I can. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. So like I said, I don't want to cut this off. So I'm going to find us a zip tie. Okay, I think that should work. Yeah, perfect. It's not going to bother anyone. All right. As I mentioned earlier, I think this one here needs to be upwards and this open section down here, because this is where your license plate is. And if you look at your lens, there's a clear section at the bottom. So it reflects it downward. I feel like I want to maybe take the light bulb out here real quick and clean this reflector a little bit. And then just put a little bit of pledge furniture polish on here and just clean it a little bit. This is the original Hella Okay. All right, let's do the wiring and then we can put the bolt back in. As I mentioned, there is a quick start guide that AdMoreLight gives you. And in here is just a quick table that says black is ground, yellow is that, green, blue, red, and all that. So really simple, really easy. They also have QR codes in here for more instructional stuff. They also have instructions for mounting and installation. So before I put those push-on terminals in place, we're just going to do the individual little wires here. So black and brown is both ground. These two are going to be clamped together. So the original wiring harness from the bike here, it's an aftermarket, it's not the original from 1974. This was installed like 4 years ago. I forgot where I got the wiring harness, but so that's tinned. Then the one from AdMoreLight isn't. Okay. The first two little wires are put in place. We could solder them together, and that would probably make a better connection. And I'm going to do that. All right, you guys hold on here a second. So I'm again using my Pine-Sol battery-powered or USB-powered soldering iron. As I said, makes for a better connection. I'm going to take a little bit more insulation off of both the original motorcycle harness and the, oh, that didn't want to come off, and the one from AdMoreLight, just so I have a little bit more room to solder them together. It's not, I don't think it's necessary that we do that, but I think little flux here on the ends. I have leaded solder. I know leaded is not good, not healthy, but it definitely makes better solder joints, especially if you have an older already soldered wiring end here, tinned end, that most likely already has leaded solder on it. Blue, red, left turn signal, and here it's yellow. So yellow and blue, red. Few more to go. Blue and black is white signal, and that's green. Blue and black. Blue and black. Oh, that's green. Did you get that? Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Oh, you should walk back to the rock. Okay. And then gray and something is. Gray and black is. Green and red is the bright light. And on the AdMore, it is bright light, blue. So that now. Again, turning off and insulating. A little bit more. Okay. Let's see. Okay. And now the last one is gray and red. See if we can get this out here. Gray and red. Now we're going to grab our little thing here and going to try to reconnect everything if we can. Okay. What is this? That's like I think. Lecture. Blue back goes in here. Blue red is over here with the yellow one. That goes in that one. That's a true signal. My little star picture is really long. Definitely going to create a short signal. So I'm just kneading a little bit. So I'm going to back it up. Come on. I was going to here. So the one towards supposed to be right, it's like green and red. Green and red is here. Green and red goes in this one now. Okay. And then the last one is the gray and black with the red. Okay. That's all connected. And now we just need to put the two blue and red, blue and black back on the correct terminals here. They are really short, by the way. Oh. Okay. And the brown ground back on that one over here. Yikes. Somehow. Like that. And then we need to stuff this all back in here without pinching anything. I think maybe we can tug it a little out of the way by using another zip tie. Like that. Okay. Stuff in. Okay. I hope this all works now. Sometimes you really need 3 hands. And I just lost one of the bolts here, screws, screw bolts, bolt screws. Kind of like that. Let's not tighten it too hard yet. All right, you guys are gonna know first if it actually works. All right, that looks pretty good. Tail light and that tail light. Now I'm gonna apply brakes. Ooh. Now the turn signals. Wow. What do you guys think? Would you put that on your bike? I guess. I managed to install it. All right, and now we're going to turn this off for a second. Now we're going to go onto the App Store and see if we have the app for AdMoreLight. And then we're going to try to, oh yeah. Ooh, nice. Do you guys like the dark color? They also, like I said, they have a clear, but I thought it might not be as in your face and obvious. Add more light. Add more light. There. Add more light. Add more connect. Install. And then we're supposed to be able to, using the AdMore app, download the AdMore Connect app from the App Store or Google Play Store, create an account to log in, select the device, then tap Add Device. Configure the features of the light bar to meet your preference. All right, now I have to register first. I'm not going to show you my password, obviously. There, and let's create a very creative password. I don't know if you guys use password managers. I do. I use Bitwarden for all my passwords. It's very easy, even across people. I have my wife and I, we share Bitwarden, and so she has access to all my passwords, and I have access to her passwords. So now they send you a verification email, supposedly. Verification email has been sent to your email address. No reply. Here it is, and click on this. Your email has been verified. Okay, so now it's just waiting for the verification to happen here. Click on the link. Okay, I did that. So now they want me to log in. Bitwarden has not saved it yet. Has saved my new password. Now it has saved it, save. And now we have, let's zoom in here. Now we have add a device. Oh, we need to turn battery on. There you go. Start scanning. Yes, allow that. There is one, connect to it. Do you see a blue light? There's a blue light here at the bottom. Yes. Name the device. Let's call it R90 AdMoreLight. Continue. Finish setup. So I gave it a name, R90 AdMoreLight. And now we can click on that. And then connect it. So brake does that. Left, right, emergency flasher. Oh, it even does emergency flasher. Park. Procession mode. Are you sure you want to enter procession? Procession mode puts the light bar into a amber wigwag mode, leading a group of riders. Okay, let's do that. I want to see wigwag mode. Procession. So if someone follows you, I guess. Now we're turning that off. And now configuration. Tail light brightness. And then brake light brightness. Oh, wow. I would say tail light brightness should be relatively bright, right? But not so bright that people think that you're on the brakes all the time. Oh, I just see here, this plastic housing has like crazing everywhere, like cracks and such. This is the original. Brake flasher speed. Amber strobe on deceleration. Amber strobe on deceleration. Amber. So you can set the tail light brightness, the brake light brightness, the brake flash count, how many flashes. So let's say medium is 5 here. It's lighter, so it's kind of difficult to get the number that you want. It always goes from 4 to 6 and not to 5. I don't know. Brake flash speed. I guess 1 through 5. I'm at 3. And then amber strobe brake, 5 seconds. Amber strobe deceleration, tip over flash, sequential turn signal, plate light. So if you have this mounted above your license plate, they apparently have a section of white lights here in the middle. Let's see this. Oh, does that not turn on? Plate light. Oh, there is a plate light. Here we go. I guess I could turn this light around and then have it illuminate upwards. But I don't think that's supposed to be that way. Okay. We're not going to have plate light because I already have plate illumination up here. I think that's plenty. Deceleration light delay, deceleration sensitivity, deceleration duration, input brake invert, input brake invert. So if the brake light would be on while you're not applying brakes, you could turn that around. 2 lamp mode, whatever that means. Demo mode. That's demo mode. Do you want to save your changes? Yes. That's the demo mode, yeah. Okay, let's turn that off. Save. I have no idea what the amber strobe brake looks like. Uh-huh. Okay, so the amber strobe is here in the middle. You can set that to 5 seconds or to 10 seconds, 15 seconds. So the longer you set it, the longer these are going to be blinking. And I think that's smart because what if you're already standing still for a while and someone hasn't realized that those are your brake lights? And smashes right into you. That's pretty good, huh? Brake flash. That's the longest brake flash now. It flashes. Oh, that's speed. Okay, brake flash speed 1 through 5 is just how fast the brakes are flashing. Brake flash count 10 or 2, for example. I put it in the middle, 6, I guess. That's good. Brake light brightness, full power, and tail light brightness. That's pretty good. I gotta say, amber strobe on deceleration, we were not going to be able to test. Tip over flash, so if I tip over my bike, it would be flashing. Sequential turn signal. Yeah, you can, I guess, let's save this real quick. So this is turn signal. It does the sequential thing, right? And if I go in there and turn that off, non-sequential, so to speak, then it would just turn on and off. Yeah, like this. Okay. What do you guys think? Would you have sequential or non-sequential? I think sequential is more annoying to the driver behind you, so I probably think I'm going to turn that on. Sequential turn signal. Like that. I think that's good. Yeah, the deceleration thing, I will have to see what the standard is. I'm not going to touch it right now. Deceleration light delay, deceleration sensitivity, and deceleration duration. What is 2 lamp mode? I have no idea what 2 lamp mode is. Oh, there is no brake now. With 2 lamp mode, there's no brake. That's weird. Okay, so I guess if you only use that as, okay, if you have a brake light and a separate tail light. Yeah, I like the amber flashing, so that keeps attention on your light. And then, like I said earlier, you can angle this. So you can probably park your bike on the street, park your car behind it, and then just look at it. So you have this angle so that it's perfectly orientated for drivers to see you. But yeah, what do you guys think? let's look at it outside in the sun. All right, guys, so now we have it in bright daylight. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And let's see what that looks like. Yeah, you can barely see my original taillight, huh? Even though it has an LED light bulb in there, which kind of sucks. There is a Airhead specific LED replacement that goes in here. And I think I'm going to invest in that as well. So now here's brake light, blinkers. Yeah, that looks really good. I like it a lot. I hope you guys like it too. And even in broad daylight, this is really visible. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to do a little bit of something to tell people behind me that I'm either stomping on the brakes or that I'm turning, or both. Very good, very good. Alrighty guys, so you guys let me know what you think about this little modification here. Like I said, it runs a little over $200 plus a little bit of shipping. But if the quality holds up, if it doesn't fall apart and all that, I think this would be a pretty good add-on to most motorcycles. If you have a brand new motorcycle and they have really fancy lighting on it, maybe you don't need it. But for everything else, older, 1974, this is a great upgrade, I think. Let me know what you think. Leave some comments down below. I will put a link down below to AdMoreLight Bar Pro to their webpage. Like I said, no affiliation. They don't even know that I exist. But I think this is a pretty good add-on. Alrighty guys, take care. Bye.